Hey there, and happy Tuesday, everyone. It's getting closer to Thanksgiving, and I'm feeling a little bit more prepared every hour of today. And so hopefully you guys have fun plans with family or friends that you can gather and just eat good food, watch some football, and be cozy and see people too. Let me get started on today's card. Today is card number 2 for Deb King's virtual stamp party, and I'm using the Peaceful Cabin bundle. Deb already has this bundle, and she's like, hey, could you do something? I need some ideas. And I have done different things with this bundle, using the stamps or the dies or the pretty paper, lots of fun things in this whole suite of products, and it's just gorgeous. But I'm mixing it up today by pulling in some different paper from the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. So hopefully that'll give you some ideas to think outside the box too. Hi Connie, hi Wendy, how are you guys tonight? So let me get my iPad put down and my camera moved around here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better here. And I'm so happy that I found my note here for Deb's party with her host code. Yesterday that was missing in my camera shot and I was really bummed, but I found it. And so today I have it up there. So here is the card looking straight at it. Hi Shelly, thanks for joining in. So this is card number 2 for Deb's party, and where this is coming from is the mini catalog, and it is on pages 36 and 37. I just dropped my stamp set here. And there's all sorts of things, mostly blacks, grays, and whites and such in that color scheme. So today, like I said, I'm mixing it up, and usually I've been using the stamp and die cutting that and different sentiments and such on here. So today it's going to have a little different look, and I love that this bundle can give us that type of versatility too. And then also, like I said, the paper that I'm not using to go along with that suite, I'm pulling in something new so you guys know, like the Painted Christmas. Here's some of you can see my scraps and some of those, and you go, oh yeah, the Painted Christmas. So that's where these pine cones are coming from today, is the Painted Christmas. And so I just wanted to let you know that's where I'm pulling it from. It doesn't come from what goes with that suite of products here, because that's mostly like the whites, blacks, and grays. Hey there, Kay. Thanks so much. All right, so this is my color combination. I always try and show you that too a little bit if I remember. Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Garden Green, some Gold Shimmer Vellum, and yeah, the Painted Christmas. So that is how that all comes together. I think what I'm going to do first to assemble the card is do some die cutting, and just gonna see here. Yeah, just want to make sure that my comments were showing, but this is good. So if you guys have questions, I always want to make sure that I'm not getting distracted by my cards. So if you guys have questions, I want to make sure that I answer them. So the cabin dies, I'm using several of them. This is kind of usually when I talk about two-step, I'm talking about two-step stamping. I'm doing a two-step die with these cabin dies here, and then I'm going to use 3 different trees that are in the die set. And then this tiny, tiny little fence that I think just adds a lot. But there's still some leftover pieces. Some of these trees that can be kind of decorated up with those little tiny dies in there, and then also cut out with this die. Here's a different fence, and then a landscape with that fox too. There's a fox in there that should be with that set, but I'm still using it for a different project, so it's not back in there, but I know there's a fox. So to get this started, what I did is just have a 4-inch piece, and I didn't really cut the length. I think I just took an 8.5 by 11 and cut it by about 4 inches, because that is what this is going to be here, is 4 by 5 1/4 of the pretty paper, and I want that to be 4 inches across for my cabin as well. So I'm just going to first cut out the cabin. I'm just going to kind of center it. It doesn't have to be like perfectly on there, just kind of decently even. So I'm going to cut that through, and this just kind of gives us like a peekaboo effect of that cabin. And I found that if I have some of these pieces up here in the top of that, that's just fine with me to leave that. But you can see it just does that. So that's where we need that second die to go through. Oh, Julie, thanks for joining in. Isn't it fun when your order comes a day early? Like that always is a fun surprise, especially this time of year when we can almost expect things to come a day late, and that's normal. So good for you. Love hearing that. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this back on through here, and I'm going to line that up kind of by the chimney here. Actually, I need to scoot it over. That's going to catch the edge. And this is just going to top off that top of the cabin there and just finish framing it. So what's kind of nice about this die, after I do this, then we can just kind of tear that off, is you can have this be as long as you want or as short as you want, because honestly, like sometimes you're going to want, depending on the color or whatever, you're going to want a longer front yard if you want to say it like so or not. And so that will kind of give you that ability to adjust accordingly. Let me just snip that area just a tiny bit that I tore off. Sometimes just tearing it off is just totally fine, but I wanted to cut that off with my scissor. And then what I'll do next is just take this with my trimmer and give it a front yard, just a short little one, but a little one, like so. So that's how we have that fun cabin scene right there, all done. And then next for die cutting, I'm going to take those trees, and I just grabbed a chunk of garden green. So the nice thing is I can do all three of these trees just on one piece, like so, and I'll run that through. And then we have these fun trees like so. Sometimes you need to kind of dig those out of my cutting pad. My cutting pad's so nice and flat, though. When it's flat, I don't want to get rid of it. But sometimes I think when it gets like full of the paper pieces in there like that and looks like that, it makes things want to stick in there a little bit more. But like I said, if it's flat, I want to keep using it until it starts to curve or something. So now the last thing I want to use are a couple of these fence pieces. Hi Pam, this card is going to be up your alley because this card has a lot of die cutting. So this little fence, after I put it on here and attached it with some fine tip glue, which works really well, I thought, you know what, for the video, I'm gonna kind of pull an impromptu thing here and get out my adhesive sheets. The adhesive sheets come in like a 6x12 package here, and then I just pulled out one sheet and cut an inch strip off. And then what I'll do is just peel off. They kind of come in sections, which is really helpful. So you can just take little sections here. So I have like a 1x2.5 or so inch strip, and I'm just going to put that on here like so. And then that's going to be right in the middle. So when I put my die on here, hopefully that will be right in the middle and I can get to that through there. Guess I'm going to need it twice. All right, and where's my take your pick tool? There's one. Yes, Pam, dies. Okay, so let me just set this one aside, and those middle parts of the fence just fall right out. I'm gonna set that aside, and then, yep, there's plenty of space for the next one. So I'll just put that right on there, and then I'll be done with my die cutting. So kind of like yesterday's card, there's, you know, that bit of die cutting, but then once I have all the die cutting done, then the card just comes together really quick. So It's one of those things that sometimes I think, wow, is that really putsy? And I do watch the time on my videos because I have a short attention span for some things, and it would surprise you that I have a short attention span for crafting, but I don't like my videos to go very long. And yesterday, even with all the delicate die cutting, it really came together pretty fast. Okay, so here we have all of our pieces. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and just go along the edges with that to get this pretty paper stuck down to my crumb cake base. So my measurements for the base of crumb cake is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 with my score there, and then this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And next I'm going to take that little strip of, if I can find it, shimmer vellum. You know, oh, here it is. It's upside down. So when it's upside down, it almost looks like crumb cake. There we go. So the shimmer vellum. This is in the annual catalog, and I just had some little strips left, and I thought, you know what? This would be great to add this to this card. And I'm just going to put my adhesive towards the top. Normally, I'd say that is a no-no. Do you remember why? You don't want to put adhesive on your vellum. But because this is going to kind of go right here across the middle or so and get covered up by the next layer, then it makes it okay. So it's always good when there's a reason why it's going to be okay. And then next I'm just going to add more adhesive here in the bigger spots of my die. And then that can go across. So I'm just kind of showing some of that gold shimmer and not a lot, and I'm just going to kind of show that up and through. Actually, I want to move this down just a hair again too, to have that go up higher into the house part, or not the house or cabin part, but into kind of that lawn there too, just to kind of give it a nice little shimmer shine there. And now for our trees, I want one of the trees to pop up. It's a skinny tree, so there's about enough room here for one dimensional and about enough room for one mini dimensional in this area, and that's about it, just because it gets kind of skinny for a lot of things here. So I'm going to take and put that down about so right there. And then with my adhesive, these two smaller trees are just going to get regular adhesive. I'm just going to stick that there and kind of tuck the extra goo of my adhesive so you can't see that. I'm going to just kind of set that one up a little bit higher. So I've kind of staggered the height there. And this is Garden Green cardstock. And next, is the fence. And so now is the fun part, because of the adhesive sheets, I've made the back of these become a sticker. So that is like the adhesive sheet that I just pulled off, and now this is all sticky. So I can go ahead and kind of tuck this underneath the tree and just press it on, and it's stuck, which is so great because there's no extra glue or anything that's going to ooze out. And here I'm just going to pull off that sticker back as well, so that just comes right off there. I mean, this is a pretty fine fence, so it's always nice when there's some kind of adhesive that's going to be really sticky and yet not ooey gooey. Especially I was worried about that vellum, and if you get glue on that vellum, it's really going to show. So I think that just adds a lot to have that. So all of a sudden Deb's card is looking, it was looking like a peaceful little cabin, now more like a ranch maybe with the fence there. And now I just want to add a sentiment. So all of that for putting the card together, and I have yet to open up my ink pad, which will be the early espresso. So let me just open that up. And the sentiment that I'm using tonight says, wishing you the best. And that's from Peaceful Cabin as well. Just going to kind of center that on this strip. And just for a different look, I'm going to kind of cut it at an angle. And just cut it at an angle just by eyeing it. No measurement needed there. And I thought about popping that on, and I kind of thought, you know, that looks okay, but it does get lost in the shuffle a little bit with the busy background paper. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put this on top of a strip of early espresso that's about a 1/2 inch, and kind of just follow that same pattern of cutting it at an angle like so, and then just going with my adhesive here, adding that. So this is going to get put on the card straight away. Oops, I don't want it to be crooked. Sometimes it's hard to line that up. It's like I don't want it crooked, but when it has angles, it's like, okay, you got to pay a little bit closer attention. And this I do want to pop up. So I'm going to bring back my dimensionals here and pull those backs off of that. And then stick that in the center here. Whoops, not upside down. Then we have that. So now it's starting to come together. Wishing you the best. So this could be any type of occasion card, and because of that, I'm not going to do anything for the inside. So if Deb and the people that are ordering through her party want to add, make it a Christmas card, they could, or if they want it to be like a get well or birthday card or anything like that, then the blank inside will be perfect for what they need it for. But I do want to accessorize the front of the card, and I wanted to make it stay rustic, and yet I liked the looks of both of these, and I don't think you could really go wrong. So the genial gems, the pale papaya, really kind of tie in and take on the tones of the crumb cake and such. But if you have the wonderful gems, those will work too. Just the white or the clear has that faceted cut look in there that brings in some of those colors. I'm just going to take and add with my take your pick tool here, add a couple of these gems, and I'm just going to put it on either side. And this is really nice because I've popped up this, then for mailing, these gems still actually kind of sit just below there, so it's not going to catch your envelope or something when being processed by the post office, which I think is always important. And then the last thing that I want to do is add just another rustic tone to this by embellishing it with some linen thread. I'm just going to take my linen thread and just kind of hold it up towards the top, wrap it around, whoops, without bumping my camera too much, a couple times here. And I'm just going to tie a knot. You guys know me, and no fancy bows. Not going to make a rustic card look fancy either. And then because this tree is popped up, then that ribbon can just fit right underneath there. Not ribbon, but linen thread can fit underneath there easily. And I'll just snip that for kind of a longer piece or tie there. Hi Eve, thank you Kay. So kind of not adding too much sparkle, just because the pale papaya, like I said, really ties in with the rustic look and gives it a little bit of an embellishment instead of just being plain there, and then adding the rustic ribbon to go with it too. So there is the Peaceful Cabin, and this is for Deb King's. It's her second card of her virtual stamp party. Let me get my camera turned around. And if all goes well, I hope to be demonstrating card number 3 tomorrow for you. But we moved our Thanksgiving up to tomorrow night. Just that's what worked best with everybody's schedule. And so at first it was the panic of that moves it up a day, but yet kind of I think I'm, after I got over the initial shock, I think I'm good. So depending on how much I get clean tonight and meal prep yet, I hope to come to you tomorrow with card number 3 for Deb. But if I'm not here tomorrow doing a video, have no fear. I will be back on Friday to do a video for you too. So just check in and see. And I know a lot of you are busy with Thanksgiving yourselves, so it's not like you'll be just waiting impatiently for me to go live. You might just be watching on your own time schedule too, which is very nice. Thank you, Lois. So have a great Thanksgiving if I don't see you. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, but have a great night tonight. Thanks so much. Oh, before I forget, how you can get Deb's cards. I forgot this, I think, yesterday too. So for those of you that have ordered or want to order through Deb's party with a minimum $25 order, you'll be getting her cards. So if you still have to order, use her host code. You'll get the 3 cards. You've seen 2 of them already, and then she's going to hold her party open till the end of this month, which isn't that far away. okay? And so that is how you get the 3 cards. If you need help ordering, please let me know, and I can get that order placed for you and use her host code so that you get the cards from her party as a thank you from both Deb and I. So there you have it. Have a great night. See you later.